Hi there, YouTube. Just wanted to do another one of these rambling, probably too long videos talking about some recent Transformers or whatever. Mainly just because I can and I want to kill some time. I'm operating at like as I just told my fiance, like a heightened level of apathetic slash not really giving a fuck today. Just randomly woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, realized that the power was out because it was just way too quiet in the apartment. Um, had to set an alarm on my phone because obviously the alarm clock wasn't plugged in and everything or wasn't working. And then power kicks back on at like 6-ish. And then my body randomly wakes me up at like a little bit before I normally get up, like 30 minutes before I normally get up. So I just had to like flop there in bed and just be like, why? So yeah, that's where we're at today. Just do not care. Minimal fucks given, more so than normal. And just not a whole lot of energy to do much of anything. Thankfully, it's a fairly easy week when it comes to clients. So, prime opportunity, even though literally Legacy Evolution Inferno is probably either here or it's getting here soon, later today, on the day that I'm filming this and posting it. We'll talk about him in a future video. It's really nice being able to just pre-order shit on Big Bad Toy Store and just keep it on your pile of loot until it comes in and just be like, yes, ship. And that gives me the segue to the other two figures that we'll talk about, but I forget if I talked about this first one. So him and then Dead End, who we'll get to here in a second, literally means that there's just Breakdown left, and Breakdown is a retool of Wild Rider here. So I figured I would talk about Wild Rider real quick. That's a mouthful. And yeah, I mean, people definitely have gotten more lukewarm on the Stunticons since Wild Rider and then Dead End came out. I actually really like Dead End. He's just a little bit fiddly and the legs aren't the best. It's just some lazy design, if you ask me. Same thing with Wild Rider here in that business. Because, come on, that's just stupid. And then you're supposed to, like, pull these out and have it drip down like a cape. I mean, I get sacrifices because of the combination and everything, but come on. It's also interesting to me that, I mean, I think we've only seen 2 or 3 waves of Evolution, or Legacy Evolution, but there's been no teasing of, like, other combiners. Like, are we getting a redo of the Constructicons? Are we getting the aerial bots again? Is Hasbro going to go more towards the Takara side of things and give us, like, the Seacons, for example? I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully we get another combiner soon, because they kind of need to redo everything from Combiner Wars at this point, even if that is what Wild Rider and Dead End kind of are. But yeah, Wild Rider's, he's good, he's fine. I like him, he's just kind of there. Not a fan of the feet being literally just, flat planks. That was the wrong side. Can you tell them? Yeah, the feet are just like thin, flat planks. Like, they're wafer thin. I mean, you have the ankle tilt, but still. Yeah, I mean, Dead End I like more than him, but who I'll just bring in because I keep talking about him. But, like, these two don't really move the needle for me as much as Dragstrip and Motormaster did. But that's fine because literally once I get Breakdown and mess around with him, I'm just going to combine them and have them on my shelf as Menasor. So, or a shelf, but yeah. Anyway, they're both cool. Yeah, not a whole lot to say about these guys if I'm being completely honest. The one thing that I did want to point out with Dead End, though, other than, yeah, I agree that the legs are just lazy. When you're going to transform him into alt mode, and I forget what the name of the person who pointed this out was. If I can find it, I'll link it below at some point. So just to the extent that you guys care about this channel anymore, just keep checking in the video description or in like a pinned comment, because if I can find the video, I'll link it one of those places. But basically all you need to do is literally take the foot and like click it in first. And you may need to click it in both places. So basically what I do, and frankly what we need to do just because of the design of the toy, which is kind of annoying, but it is Hasbro. Literally you just fold the foot up and then click it in, like in that groove right there. And then I also need to come to the side here by the window and apply a little bit of pressure right there. And there was a pretty loud click there. And then that makes it easier for everything to be flush in alt mode and everything. I do like the arm transformation on Dead End. So yeah, just a pro tip there, I guess. Anyway, let's talk about Needlenose, who was literally the one that I'm like, fuck it, why not, pretty much. And yes, I do have him posed kind of like this, kind of like he's ready to go or raring to take a shit, just because that way it's like, it's less noticeable that, you know, he's got a fucking dong hanging behind his back. This kibble is just lazy. I mean, he's literally he's a jet former with the robot underneath. This hinge is the jet mode, or there's a hinge for the transformation right there. That literally is the jet mode. You could literally just like unpin these pieces, tap them into the robot mode like they are for the robot mode, and then knock out a pin and just have an entirely separate like jet piece. So the design is kind of lazy. I really want somebody to do an upgrade kit where you fill in these legs and just like have a panel like go here or something, or have like I don't know. We need to have a panel to cover the hole in the legs right here, because they technically need to be hollow for the transformation, but at the same time they don't really need to be. But yeah, I think it was a Perspective End who said like the design is mostly good. It's the lazy jet former thing, and it just because the cockpit is hanging down, it's yeah. It's a thing. He's good. I like him. The detailing's nice. He looks cool. But he was very much the one that I got just to, you know, pad out in order pretty much, or to like not ship only Dead End. Because Dead End came off a pre-order pretty quickly, or first, and then this guy came out of pre-order like 10 days later or so, or like maybe 2 weeks later. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'll ship both. Yeah, no, I like Needlenose's transformation. Robot mode's cool. Jet mode is fine. The paneling being really well detailed there and just not at all on the actual jet body is really weird. It's obviously because of the paint, because this is all painted. But I don't know, he's just like a series of weird choices, and I have zero attachment to him as a character. As I forget who it was said, he really feels like he's just a figure from the Power of the Primes line or like a previous toy line, especially because he was a fan poll figure that just kind of got thrown into Legacy Evolution to pad out the wave. He's good, he's fine, but you don't need to really rush out and get him unless you like really like Needlenose from like G1, the comics, whatever. I will say though, and you're probably wondering, oh, why haven't you shown the Target Masters? So I don't know their names. Also don't particularly care. We're going to move Needlenose off camera here for a second. So yeah, they're the Target Masters. Come on, focus. Good enough. So so they're the Target Masters. They're going to be blurring out. Oh, no, there we go. Autofocus. There we go. Maybe. There we go. They're fine. I mean, it's just, they feel kind of lazy, and they're so hollow. It astounds me that, you know what, like 10, 15 years ago now, we got Nightstick with the original classics, Cyclonus, and then nowadays, like, we get shit like this for Target Masters. Yeah, no, I realize that looks like he has a tail. I don't really care. But yeah, nowadays we get shit like this, and it's just lazy. I mean, I get why cost, plastic quality, or cost of production, all that stuff, but still lazy. So yeah, these guys are literally just in like a bin of accessories, and I'll probably toss them at some point if I'm being honest. I just need to find like a good spare like gun from another figure that I'm not using and give it to Needlenose. Yeah, they're fine, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, that's been, to quote Nintendo Life, that's been more than enough waffling. I'll see you guys in whatever the hell the next video is.